everybody, welcome to my channel. This is such a happy day. I am revealing and making a project with my collaboration box that I do with the founder and owner of Didi Beads. Her name is Stella, and our box this time is called Opaline Muse, and I'm so excited. It's one of the most beautiful ones we've ever done, and I say that every time we do a box because our problem is we keep raising the bar on ourselves. We just get better and better. So our collaboration box comes in this reusable storage case, and I'm just so big on organizing, keeping my beads organized because I'm a better designer and more productive. And so Stella and I always put our beads in this little reusable storage box and give you a label. And if you have a craft cart like I've shown in my organizing videos, these little boxes fit perfectly and they really keep you organized. So I always love getting our sample box because I get an extra one. So there is that, and look at this gorgeousness. So let's go through the unboxing really quickly. I'm telling you guys, I could not help myself. I was setting up for the video and I've already started designing with the box. I've already cut open this strand because I'm drooling over these pink faceted rondelles. I'm actually drooling over the whole box. It's just so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Okay. The first item is a 15-inch strand. We are quite generous. Like, there really is enough here in this box to make a lot of jewelry. So 15-inch strand. These natural morganite barrel freeform rondelle chips will vary between 8 to 10 millimeter, and they're just in this delicious candy pastel colors, just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to cut this open and use this in my first project. And then we have a strand here that is also 15-inch long of 6x4 millimeter Aurora Borealis. If you're newer to beads and you see AB, it stands for Aurora Borealis, and it's that flash that gives you like this reminiscent of the Northern Lights. So it's like extremely sparkly when you see that finish on things. And it's a seafoam crystal rondelle, so that just beautiful, beautiful, like the softest blue/green. It's just wonderful. And then I have cut this open because I couldn't help myself. I was setting up for my video and I started playing. I mean, doesn't this look delicious? It's not only the sparkle, but this is like, I am a pink girl, and this is just absolutely the sweetest, most beautiful pink. And it has that it's rose pink and silver luster. It resembles, it's kind of the AB finish, but it's extremely sparkly and pink and delicious. It looks like spun cotton candy. I mean, I just love it. Like I say, I had to cut mine open and try it with a few of the things of my design ideas. And then we have this Opaline Muse crystal rondelle mix. It's a 15-inch strand. This one is a 12-inch strand, but this is 2.5 millimeters. So these are so sweet and petite. I am just loving it, and I am thinking of a little petite necklace with what I'm working on with the rose petals that came in the box as the pendant. Now, I wanted to do this in this video, but I'm not happy with this. And before I do a video and share the tutorial with you guys, I am going to work on this and come back in another video because I think that it would look better with 6 rose petals. I'm also not thrilled with the back. I love my 2 millimeter pearls, and I really like the design in the middle, but I'm going to work out the details. Bead weaving projects, before I do a tutorial anyway, I do them several times to make sure that if you invest the time, although this is a very short, easy, fast workup, but if you invest the time, I want your piece to turn out. So I'll be back in another video, but I'm going to hoard this strand, and what I'm thinking is that I want to do a little pendant for these rondelles. And just on this note, before I move on to the rest of the box, I didn't even reinforce this because as I was working on the pattern, I just said, you know, I need to do another one. I wasn't totally thrilled with the way it turned out. But if you want to be ready for my next video and you would like to do this along with me, Of course, the rose petals are in the box, or you can gather up some rose petals from your own stash. These are 8 by 7 millimeter AB seafoam check glass rose petals. We have 25 pieces here, and you really would only need 6 for for doing this. But what I'm using is these 11O Miyuki seed beads, and that's what's on the back, and I'm not happy with there's something about the way it looks. I'm not happy with it. I'm going to switch to a different 11O, I think, try something more opaque. And then these are 15O seed beads that I had in my stash, but any gold 15O seed bead, and these are Duracoat yellow gold. So I would invest in the Duracoat Permafinish seed beads for a project like this, so that your gold metallic finish stays intact, for a really, really long time. So I would invest a little bit more in that. And then these are 2 millimeter pearls. They're just glass pearls. They're the 2 millimeter Potomac pearls. I can show you what they are. If you get the treasure box, you might already have these. These are cream rose. It's 2 millimeter, but you can also get those on Potomac beads. And I know so many of us have like a little stash of pearls. Honestly, if you had a 2 millimeter bicone or a 2 millimeter faceted gemstone, like a microfaceted gemstone, a 2 millimeter rondelle, you could really substitute this for anything, for anything that's the right size. But look how beautiful those little pearls are in the middle of this flower. So I am going to be back in a video for that, but that way you have a list of what you need if you want to make along with me when I come back with that video. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. We got these gorgeous yarn balls. These are check glass, and these are dark orchid, and they have this gorgeous gold wash. I absolutely love this bead. It's this color. I've seen this bead before, and I have it in quite a few colors, but this color is just absolutely delicious, and the gold wash is perfection. And then the next thing on the list are these gorgeous table cut check glass flowers. So again, for newer people, table cutting is, I don't know if you can see how completely flat and like sliced that is. That is a table cut bead. And it's this color. This is a dark seafoam, but it has a purple Picasso wash on the edge and on the cutting on the front. Focus camera. It's such a gorgeous colorway, just absolutely gorgeous. We already talked about the little rose petals, and then I love these little bell flowers. Stella always puts in, she will always find some flowers for me because she knows I love them. So these are really cool. These are 5 millimeter, and they're lilac colored. They're check glass bell flowers, but they only have like a little 3-point. So they're really cool. They're almost like a bead cap too. They're just really cool. And then I love the chandelier components. These are 14 karat gold plated, brushed, so they have that gorgeous, highly textural finish to them. And there's these would make just gorgeous earrings. They have one little hole in the middle where you could put your ear wire, and then you can just like dangle anything you want from here. Loops of things or downward lines of beads. These little small beads would be sweet on here, although I'm hoarding those. These would also be a gorgeous little necklace too, because you could do your strung part that goes around your neck from these 2 little top holes, and then do multi-strands of very petite, even your seed beads or microfaceted gemstones could make really beautiful, really petite and small scale multi-strand necklace. So just really, really a gorgeous little chandelier component. And then these are maybe my favorite. I don't know. I can't even say that I have a favorite in this box because I love the whole thing. But these are 6 millimeter lantern spacers. So they have that little cubicle kind of, well, I can't hold on to it. Come back, come back, come back. I just need to get a piece of wire so I don't drop it. These are so sweet. They are shaped like a little lantern, and they just have so many beautiful, sweet angles to them, and it has that brushed gold finish. But the amazing things about these, they're solid brass and they are e-coated, so these will not tarnish, and you don't need to brush your anti-tarnish coating on them. So they are just absolutely wonderful. I think I'm going to separate mine and get a bracelet and a necklace out of mine, and then we are putting in this curved tube slider. This is also solid brass and plated and e-coated, so this also will not tarnish, and I just love this. And I'm going to use that as a focal point for this gorgeous 40mm opaline muse enameled flower pendant. Look at this gorgeous pendant. That is absolutely stunning. It is delicious. I love this color. These are so serene. You know, I have a design background, and I've always been reading a lot about what color does to people, how colors affect people. And I remember this one very high profile designer in the 90s wrote this article about these colors and how healing and soothing these are. And she said if she were designing all the hospitals in the United States, she would have these lavender walls and these pale sea foam green walls, because they're very healing colors. And this to me is just so soothing and beautiful. And look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So you might know this is going to be my first project. Okay, and then there are 4 of these beautiful 10mm flower spacers, and they're just so detailed. The embossing is just gorgeous on them, and they have almost like a little built-in bead cap just in the mold. And these are also solid brass and e-coated for anti-tarnish, and they have a really nice large hole. So I really want at least one stretch bracelet. I love stretch bracelets. For me, it's like an everyday, very easy on and off. I'm in a warmer climate, so they're really comfortable to wear, and it's just something I will wear a lot. And I want to make a stretch bracelet, but I also want to make an add-in necklace section for one of my chains. And I'll just show you, I have a couple of them. Some of you, a lot of you are always returning to my channel, so this will not be new to you. But for newer people, I have some solid brass e-coated chain that matches this gold finish. And I haven't checked Didi Beads website, honestly. Before filming, I did not check, but she does have some of this, or did have some of this on her website. I also found, and I have my 2 necklaces so tangled, but I also found these a father and son that has this product at a bead show, and I can put a link to their website. They've been out of stock on a lot of things, but you know, I can put the link and you can see how I got my little self so tangled. But what I do is take my chain, and I have this is quite fine, and I have a few different links, and I take a really fancy gold-plated lobster claw clasp, and these are really sweet. They have a little swivel feature, so they're really easy to change out. And I use gold-filled diamond-cut jump rings, and so this was from Didi Beads, from one of her boxes. I don't remember when, but I just make these little add-on sections. Let me lay it on my mat. I just make these little like mini necklaces, and I don't have to bead my entire length. And then all I have to do is put some kind of a loop, either a seed bead loop or a jump ring loop or some kind of a loop, and I can change them out. So I want to take this and some of the chips, and I think a couple of these, and just create a little section, a small mini necklace to add on to this chain. So I'll take this one off. I was wearing this recently, and so that's what I do. Is I have a jewelry tray with just my add-on necklace. I need to come up with a fancier name. Mini necklace, maybe that sounds better, but they are interchangeable. And it's so simple. The clasp, you know, there's no clasp on the back because you're adding on your clasp and their front closure. And you know, I have like if the beads are of a larger scale, I have a larger chain and a little bit larger decorative lobster claw clasps, and I was actually wearing this one. This is a set that I did, and it matches my Didi bracelet and a little mini necklace to add into this chain. So I love doing that, so I'm going to do that today. But you guys, if you don't like this idea, or you don't have a really good chain that you'd want to do that with, there are such long lengths of beads here. You could literally copy my focal if you like the idea, if you like the project, or do your own little version of it and bead up your necklace and do any length you want. There is plenty to create necklace lengths in our box. So let me just clean up a little bit here, and I'm gonna make at least one project in this video. Wow, wow, wow. I cut open the strand of the morganite, and they're just gorgeous. I mean, they were gorgeous on the strand, but they're just so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've already sorted through my strand after I cut it open, and I've got 10 of those chips on the right and 10 on the left, and I have put a fancy jump ring through my pendant, and that's going to get strung over this little bar and make my focal. I have out here 2 number 2 crimp tubes from Softflex Company that are gold filled. I have some 8/0 perma finish galvanized starlight seed beads out here, and I cut open both of my rondelle strands. And what else? I have strung this gorgeous little pattern on my stretch cord, and I just created color blocks with all the colors in the box and alternated those lantern beads with the flower beads, and pretty much there's a gold seed bead in between everything. And I have pre-stretched this. The other little disc that you see in here are from my stash. I just got them at the Orlando Bead Show. They are also that e-coated brushed gold, so they match. I just had those in my stash, and I'm gonna go ahead and you know, close up this stretch bracelet so that I can wear it right away. This is just so me. And so what I did is I put my pattern on here so that, like, these crystals have a pretty big hole. Almost everything on this bracelet has kind of the same size hole, but you know what? I might actually be more successful pulling my knot inside the lantern bead. So I'm going to just move a couple of these things from this side over to this side before I tie my knot, and then my knot will end up inside that lantern bead. So when I do a stretch bracelet, I just try to choose whatever has the largest hole. So I'm just going to move these 3. My pattern will go around just as I have done, just like that, but I can pull my knot inside the lantern bead. And I don't overthink my knots on my stretch bracelets. I do an overhand knot. I do a couple of them, and I'll do right over left. And since I'm right hand dominant, I'll turn my work this way and then do it in the opposite direction. And I use GS Hypo Cement on my knots and then pull it inside the bead. And the other thing that I do when I make a stretch bracelet is I make the circumference of the bracelet bigger than I need it. So when I'm taking this on and off my arm, I'm not stretching it so much, because stretch bracelets can last, but you know, they are not really forever jewelry just because of the nature of the stretch cord. So, but you see that it's a little bit like I can get my finger under my bracelet, so it's a little bit bigger than I would normally do. So I'm just going to come in with some GS Hypo Cement. I have a new tube because my other tube had gone south. Oh, this one has 2. If they could figure out how for this glue not to be a horrible mess. It's such a good glue, but it just oozes out like crazy once you have taken that little pin out. So I'm going to get a lot of glue on that knot, but not so much on my cord because I don't want to erode my stretch cord. And I'm just going to pull that knot a little bit just to make sure the glue is on there. And I'm going to just wiggle my lantern bead right over, get the knot inside the lantern bead. It just slipped right in, and I'm going to come here and cut, and that gorgeous first bracelet is done. It's color blocked pink, lavender, seafoam green. That is just the happiest thing. Just the happiest thing. Oh my goodness. In fact, I'm just going to put that on. You guys are going to see me wearing this probably constantly. And when I'm all done with everything, I may come back and put some kind of a charm on this with something that I have left over. Or maybe I'll go through my stash and find something that I just love as a charm. But isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love it. Okay, I am going to put my necklace on my fluorite color medium soft flex wire. It's the 49 strand. Look how perfect this color is. It's very seafoam green and it's very serene, and it just looks absolutely great with everything here. And I pretty much know what I'm going to do. So you can either, when you're stringing like this, you can either string from both sides, or, and maybe it's easier to do that, crimp one end and then only work from one side. But since I'm going to play with placement on my chips and popping a gold seed bead in between, maybe I'll just go ahead and just work from both sides. So since I absolutely know that that is my center, I'm going to just thread that on like that, and my little guy is going to float on there. And then I just need to decide what's going to come next. And I think that I just love these beads, so I think that it's going to be a pink crystal on each side. And then a lantern bead on each side. That's so pretty. I could just stop there. But I'm going to do a little arrangement of chips. And I don't know if I want an 8/0 seed bead in between every chip, or if I want to go down to a smaller seed bead. Let me string on a few and see how I feel about that. No, it's really pretty. Okay, I think that's going to be my pattern. I am being so brave to not have a clamp on this, so I think I need to stop being brave and get a clamp so I don't lose my stringing. Okay, and now I'm going to come to this side and just repeat the same pattern. A chip, a seed bead, a chip for the first 5. That is absolutely stunning, and I love it. Okay, I am going to put my number 2 crimp tube on with this soft flex wire matching so well. I'm not going to cover it, but you could put French wire here, you could put a wire guardian, you could put gold seed beads, but I am just going to let this loop show this beautiful fluorite color matches so well. I'm going to make a loop back down through my crimp tube, and maybe it will go through the 8/0 seed bead. And I'm going to leave this loop big enough that it will easily, you know, go in and out of my fancy lobster claw clasp. So yes, like that, and I like it. So it will fit through that first seed bead. And I'm going to use my magical crimping plier here. I'm going to get that number 2 crimp tube centered in that divot, close the tool. So I've made a little square that has 4 pinched corners, and I'll come in the opposite direction and make sure before I close down that it is squarely in the middle. You will get to where you can feel when it's in the middle, like it's not in there yet. There's a little perfect position, and if you don't get it right in the middle when you close down in the opposite direction, you will mangle your crimp tube. So why am I not going in there? Just felt it go in. It's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you know what it feels like when it's in the middle, you'll know when you can close down on the tool. And then I'm just going to go around a few times, opening and closing, just holding that position, and I get this really perfect little bead. And so now I can feed my 8/0 seed bead over that cut end. I don't know if my flower will go. Don't know if the hole in the flower will go. No, it won't. So I have to trim a little bit. And now I'm just going to let everything go down. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Okay, and I do have a couple of things left over, which is wonderful because I definitely have more to make with this box. And so I'll be back with another project with those beautiful rose petals and maybe another necklace. And I definitely think I want to get some earrings out of this box to go with everything. But look at this, you guys. Isn't that just gorgeous? That is absolutely delightful. I love, love, love it. So beautiful. And you know, that's like a fall leaf, but it's a little bit of a twist on a fall leaf because in these candy pastel colors, it's very refreshing. And I see this really frosty too, like going into the winter with like a lavender or an icy blue cashmere pullover sweater, fine gauge sweaters. And I am crazy about my bracelet, and I actually love it stacked with the bracelet that I had on today. So I am so excited about this box, and Stella did surprise me with a few of the things. She kind of did a few things without me, and then she said, I have surprises for you, and then she couldn't stand it. She sent me pictures. So we have so much fun making our box together. If you are brand new to Didi Beads, I do have a discount code that is good on quite a bit of the website. It does not work on our collaboration box, and it does not work on the Didi's Deluxe Bead Box. But if you're shopping for other things, it works on quite a few things on the website. And also there's been some confusion about the difference between this box that I collaborate on with Stella and Stella's monthly box called Didi's Deluxe Bead Box. They are two totally separate things. And last collaboration box, I received maybe 4 different comments where people were confused about the difference. So this is totally different. We don't do these regularly, maybe once a month. Sometimes we skip a month. We don't really have a schedule. It depends on both of our schedules and what we're finding in the bead marketplace as well. But the Didi's Deluxe Bead Box, which I've already done a video for, I've done one video for already for the month of October. That goes for sale on the 12th of every month, and it is not a subscription. It's first come, first serve. So that is totally different from this. So you guys that are new to Didi Beads that had questions, I hope that clears it up. And if you do have any further questions, just leave it for me in the comments and I will get right back to you to help with the ordering. Our box does sell out very quickly. We have recently increased our quantity of this box. So if you're interested in this, do not wait. I would go directly to her website, use the link in the description box. It will take you right there. We also coordinate so that the box is not available for purchase on her website until my video goes live on YouTube. So it's fair for everyone. And I always post in my community tab when it's upcoming and the links and all of that. So hopefully if this was something you liked, you will be able to get it and it wasn't too confusing this month. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video.